What if I told you in the Bayonetta 3 release date trailer, this is the biggest misdirection that is just a few seconds away from the ultimate finale. And we've even translated that Enochian chant at the end for you all. The theorem of Brave Cereza has been my thesis for the past 3 years, where that little girl that we raised in the first game grew up in an alternate timeline where they won against the witch hunts, because she was taught the lessons of being brave and that she can overcome anything. Learning all of that from our Bayonetta during the events of Bayonetta 1. So there are 2 timelines, one for our Bayonetta and one for Brave Cereza. That's the premise. Okay, so we finally get to see a live Broken Witch Heart after 13 years of only seeing the ancient ones as items. Now, if you go slow it down, you eventually see this Cereza's Umbran watch glowing a bright red, while her own hand is literally inside her. Oh my gosh, I wish that was me. Now, these watches are hugely connected to being in the Umbran clan, as they are given to Umbran witches when they are of age. But in this case, our Bayonetta and Brave Cereza still received it from Rosa while she was imprisoned. However, Brave Cereza thinks our Bayonetta was Rosa due to their similarities.
Where did you get this?
You gave it to me, Mummy, for my birthday.
But that's not important. The key to the scene is not the heart, but Brave Cereza's Umbran watch, who, if you remember, was blessed by our Bayonetta in chapter 12 of the first game, to which our Bayonetta recites,
When you love something, never lose it. Understand, little one? You must keep it safe, close to your heart.
Obviously, I'm overthinking it, but that's what this whole channel is about. I overthought about the infernal bonds in 2020, and lo and behold,
Then perhaps.
Now, before this Cereza tears her heart out, her Umbran watch glows a very beautiful red, but it seems like she's also getting physically hurt, and this is the first time we get to see a Cereza bleed, besides the one in the 2017 trailer. Maybe this is what that was foreshadowing, but it's almost as if a promise was broken, where this Cereza didn't keep her watch close to her heart. Well, figuratively and literally. Figuratively, this sentence that our Bayonetta said to her when she was so young was more so symbolizing a promise of allegiance to the Umbran clan. But now it seems like she's sacrificing her own heart, potentially committing a sort of forbidden magic. And it's like she's broken that promise, which is why it glows red. It connects back. And whose name was incanted during this scenario? A huge thank you to Eduardo MJ, who is an absolute legend, for helping me translate that ending chant ever since the trailer dropped. Who even sent me a full Enochian dictionary and isolated the vocals, so a big shout out to him. Also, another shout out to my guy Krelian for figuring this out on his own as well. In the name of Bayonetta, I lament with my unholy voice, come forth, Elder Thunder. Okay, so that's 1 count for the word Bayonetta. Another crucial thing I found is that she has a ribbon where it says, quote unquote, Bayonetta. Alright, so this Cereza is actually our Bayo. The thing is, she had ribbons when she was younger, but was given her first embroidered ribbon, the one with the Umbran letters, by our Bayonetta. Our Bayonetta didn't canonically use her ribbons, or the ribbons from Bayonetta 1 in Bayonetta 2. She got rid of them, or at least put them in the closet, I don't know. But I saw that as a huge symbolism for our Bayonetta being the witch with no memories, transitioning into the famed witch. Could this ribbon that we see, and heck, it's so conveniently positioned to face towards us, have been the same one that our Bayonetta gave her in chapter 12 of the first game? Or it could just be a whole singular timeline shenanigan where her giving it to her past self grew up, and then give it to her past self and... This is why I hate the singular time travel model. It's why the grandfather paradox was made, and it all comes down to the paradox of who then gave her the... It sucks. Therefore, assuming we're dealing with multiple timelines here, it would be sensational if this was the ribbon our Bayonetta gave her. And it seems like she's telepathically communicating with her somehow, with what seems like Miss Helena Taylor's voice. Now we have a second clue for Bayonetta. By the way, that bell ring you hear with the pulse in the trailer sounds like the indicator that Radahn uses before he commits something that he'll get cancelled for on Twitter. Another thing is, which was my biggest mind-blowing find that I've witnessed, I have frame by frame tried my absolute best to find her mole, and I don't see one. Again, it could be the angle. It could be that it's so small that the camera doesn't even capture it. But I really think that if they wanted to hide it from us, they would have just made her face the other way. Okay, now let's assume she does not have the mole, in which, as confirmed by Kamiya in our 2020 episode,
なぜ過去のベヨネッタにはほくろがなくて今のベヨネッタにはほくろがあるのか。僕の中では魔女は女性としてこう大事なとても大切な経験をすると 体のどこかにほくろが現れると思ってるんですね。なのでベヨネッタも何かこう大切なこう思い出に残る出来事があったんじゃないのかなというのが僕の中だけの秘密です。
Is she forging a forbidden spell? Is this her final last resort summon to fight the antagonist? Is this her true potential that Rosa was foreshadowing? Or did she lose her contract with Madama Butterfly? Well, it's not likely since she can use Madama Butterfly or a Madama without her mole, so I don't see any connection with her Madama and her mole. But in the lore of Bayonetta, Kamiya explained that when a witch experiences her most treasured memory, that's when her mole appears. The third and final pillar has been found. Do you remember whose name dropped? What if this scene right here is when Cereza gets her mole? Her most treasured memory is potentially feeling the presence of her mom, which was our Bayonetta. Actually, I still think this scene is towards the end of Bayonetta 3, so this chronologically doesn't make sense if she gets her mole now. So what if all the pain and trauma that is coursing through her body from using this spell is doing the opposite of what a treasured memory does? What if an Umbran Witch's mole disappears during her worst experience or her worst memory? The chant of summoning the Thunder Dragon, the ribbon that our Bayonetta gave her, and the missing mole. What if this forbidden final spell pings everyone with the name and mantle of Bayonetta throughout the multiverse, which is why the virtual coven of Bayonettas is involved. But a certain someone from the first Alphaverse feels that disturbance the strongest due to her direct motherly instinct. Our Bayonetta realizes that brave Cereza is summoning her final Umbran Art, who, by the way, is versing, and some people missed it, this giant homunculi who has a distinct trigram symbol that this motherfucker has on his machine. And if this guy is Sigurd, this is gonna get really good, trust me. In our world, Sigurd is a hero who kills a dragon and is later murdered. Will we see brave Cereza about to lose her fight with Sigurd? And that's when...
Mummy! Didn't I tell you, little one? There is nothing you cannot overcome.
I'm Rakun, and never get disheartened.